see what's going on.
Yeah, we can give that away. I mean, finders keepers, right? I mean, isn't that the rule?
You give the whole trigger away. Yeah, good call. Of course, say Cisco in the background.
People gonna see it.
Oh.
People gonna see it.
We are live.
Well, look, it's in a tree. I mean, where else would you put a Cisco AV?
Yeah.
Charlie.
You about ready?
I think we're good. We're live, so as ready as we're gonna be.
Is the audio live?
I'm muted. You're not.
Okay.
No, you're muted. That's muted. So when they come up to ask, I just have to make sure I unmute it.
All right, everybody, you're going to get to see how an award-winning podcast is made. Yeah, it's definitely not as polished as you might think. So, with that being said, you can go to the, if you want, you could actually go to the Ruckus Education YouTube channel, and you'll be able to watch, what? Oh, you'll be able to watch it live if you wanted, so you can watch it there. And it'll be recorded and posted, so you'll be able to actually go back and watch it again at a different time. So we're gonna try 3 microphones and see how bad that works.
Let's do the music first.
So,
No going back now.
no going back. We started the music.
That lies. Don't worry about that. Holy crap.
Maybe you can like push it up on the screen.
Hey guys. So welcome everybody to WLPC 2024, our first attempt at a really bad idea. Well, not our first attempt at a really bad idea. Our first attempt at a really bad live idea. So
Well,
we're going to
It's the first time we've attempted to do something really bad in front of a whole group of people and then put it live streamed. I mean, because what can go wrong? I don't think our bosses are watching, so yeah.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Anyways, so
How fast did we go off the rails?
about 15 minutes ago.
Oh,
So we have no agenda. That was good planning. We have nothing to talk about. What's the worst that could happen?
well, they can't hear the music.
Well, the music's over.
Oh, so we played music. It was good. You should, go listen to it and beat your head. Kind of do the jam like I do.
You'd hear it if you brought headphones.
I left them in my room.
Likely story.
I did. I was busy.
All right, so we're 10 minutes in. We started a little bit late because setup and all that. But so wanted to welcome everybody. Hope you're enjoying the food and beverage. We have some giveaways to get to. It's kind of an open forum. We have a muted mic that can go live at any given time. If you want to ask a question, you can come up and we're gonna have. I think now's a good time to have a first in the Ruckcast. We're gonna have 2 guest co-hosts, Chris and Sean.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. We're out.
All right. Now let's see. Do you have a question, Mr. Parsons? I got to turn the mic on first. Oh God, what'd I do? I shake,
John broke it.
I didn't break it.
John broke it.
Oh, don't tell me I can't do this live. There we go.
All right, Mr. Parsons.
Who cut your hair?
Whose? My hair or his hair?
You might be old enough to relate to it. Who cut your hair?
I do.
I cut my own hair.
Yeah. So who cuts your hair?
His mom.
Yes. So, how'd you like the conference so far?
I'm enjoying it.
It's been exhausting week.
It's funny.
Come on, you guys can't let him steal the dog.
Boardman,
Come on.
Boardman put the dog back.
Do we have permission to tackle? Somebody can tackle him.
You're both here for
Okay. No, it's been good. I mean, I don't want to say I'm ready to go home, but I've been here for almost a week at this point. So have you?
You were a deep dive instructor and
Correct.
also a boot camp instructor.
Correct.
So how did that change your view of being an attendee in the past versus
It's a different experience, right? You come in as an attendee. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want. You don't have any responsibilities. To just enjoy it, and you put the onus on an instructor to make sure they're getting the enjoyment out of the conference. You definitely was a bit of pressure to keep that in mind, that like if I do a bad job, I'm ruining somebody's conference potentially. Hopefully not.
thank you for not ruining the conference. I appreciate that.
I hope not, but the survey hasn't gone out yet.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this in Prague, and there's a couple of us, there's a couple of the instructors, we were going to dinner, and we were talking about the fact that, every once in a while, the more and more you get involved in WLPC, the more and more that you realize, exactly what goes into running this community. And so we were talking about it, it's like sometimes, we'd almost like to go back to that day when, like the first time we came here, where we weren't presenting, we weren't teaching, and we could just sit in the room and we could watch all the things and we could just do it all. Just to try to enjoy, it's like that first time experience, it's like we want to go back and recreate that first time that we came to WLPC, because it's such an eye-opening experience, and it's so amazing as a first-time attendee. You're just blown away, and so we kind of miss, like, we would like to go back to that and just revisit that for a little bit, to be like, wow, this is just such an amazing thing. So,
Well, I remember the first time I met you, and you had said something that triggered me to you should really write a blog about that.
yes.
And you did. I might have wanted to take that back afterwards.
Yeah, and probably more than once.
Because I thought it was going to be a short blog, like a page, maybe 2 pages. 27 pages later, I got to the answer. So.
Yeah.
But it worked. And look what you've done since that very first little trigger.
Yep. So, if you go back and watch David Coleman's blogging or doing tech writing, there's actually a section in there where everybody in the audience calls out my name, because he says, you should write a blog, and you really should. And he's like, but keep it at 1,200 words. And all you hear coming from, this is just the audience screaming it out, and you can hear it on his microphone, is Palmer, Palmer, Palmer. And he told me later, he's like, he goes, your blogs work. He goes, but you're about the only one that can get away with it.
Well, I want to come on and thank you two for both teaching deep dives, and John for teaching the boot camp and being part of the WLPC family. And like you said, you start out with just the first time, and then we get you engaged.
Yep. Thank you very much, Keith.
Thank you for having us.
So, how many people, so raise a hands because we're on camera and I want to see. How many people here are first timers to WLPC? Holy monkey. So,
Oh, I'm not the first time.
well, oh wait, no, I'm not a first timer either. So welcome. Thank you for joining us at WLPC. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl's got to come. No, you come up here. You got to. Cheryl's got something going on here. So some of you guys might have seen this, and now my microphone's going to go dead, and I don't really care. So John's going to do a play-by-play, and it is mine, so it's on the podcast. Now, some of you guys have probably seen this. This is the Oreo cookie that has my face on it. That Cheryl went ahead and epoxied onto the most ugly spinner blingy thing that you can actually have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, move, you're blocking that one.
Yeah. Well, but I need to get this into here so everybody is watching it.
There you go. Now give it a spin. No, it worked. We got that.
No, we have 2 cameras, so this one.
So Jim's award-winning posterior was on this camera, but his spinning Oreo was on that camera.
Look, you guys are met me. You know how this is gonna go. Look, this is probably your fault at this point. You're still here. It's kind of on you. But Cheryl Connell right here. Everybody say hi to Cheryl. Cheryl is the one who actually made this Oreo cookie. This it really represents. Well, she didn't make no. Jamie Jackson made the cookie and gave it. She got one last year, and then she lost it. You lost it.
I kept it. I couldn't eat it. I was silly. I
Oh.
I saved it for a year.
So she saved it for a year, and then she said, what do you do with an Oreo cookie you saved for a year? And if you can't eat it, the next obvious choice is, you epoxy it onto a spinner, a little blingy thing, and then you bring it to Phoenix and you give it to Jim. And then Jim wears it. Like, I don't even have my badge on, Converse badge, but I have I taught with this on. I mean, it's kind of heavy, and you'll probably see it at least one more time tomorrow morning when I present. You can thank Cheryl, because Cheryl, this represents what WLPC is about, is somebody coming up and just going, what is the dumbest thing I can do that's gonna make me laugh? And this is it. The stickers were made by somebody else, but that's WLPC. You'll see that. Yeah, John made the stickers, but that's the great thing about it. So Cheryl, thank you for coming. You can now go to your friends, some cool out there, so.
That's where that came from. Sorry, John.
No, it's fine. I liked that. I had a great view.
Yes.
I had a front row seat to perhaps your best side.
Okay.
Hang on.
So now we got Jason.
I don't
Jason.
have bourbon in this glass, it's just ginger ale, so don't worry.
No, this is a judgment-free zone.
Look,
It's 5.
That's for your safety, not.
It's past 5 o'clock.
you were in my deep dive. You know better. So,
Does he know better? He chose your deep dive.
this is true.
Actually, Jim ran a great deep dive. I've been actually meaning to take Jim's deep dive for years, and I'm really glad I did.
His last one, too.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
So get this, right? I teach the deep dive, and like half the students were like, man, I came here just to take your deep dive, and I went, well, crap, now I have to teach it again. So I was going to retire it and kind of try to do something, but now I have all these students that are like, oh no, I loved your deep dive. You need to keep teaching it, and I'm just like, okay. So it might go on vacation, it might go on hiatus, and not actually be officially retired. So if I might bring it back.
I mean, as a CWE, right, where, we use antennas every day, and we use external antennas, like over time, and we use fancy Ruckus antennas with way complex math to make it all work.
It's simple
I
math.
still learned a ton of stuff in your deep dive, so
Well, thank you.
So kind of on a more serious question for the audience here. Based on what you've seen, and I know we have more presentations tomorrow, you have one, I have one.
Yeah.
Heck, even that certain David from Extreme is gonna have one.
He presents after me. So what I say about Wi-Fi 7 is right, and what David said.
I was just wondering, you guys have been coming to this for a long time. I've been coming to this for more years than I will admit. Kind of two questions. One is, how do you think the community has kind of changed and evolved over the years that you guys have been involved? And number two, like, is there anything that you guys have seen in the last couple of days that you're like, oh wow, like this is a really interesting way that the community is shifting, that the industry is shifting, right? So, I mean, I know we got 6 gigahertz and Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7 on the horizon. Yeah, when we have for a while, but I mean, has there been anything like else that's like, hey, that's something to keep an eye on, that we should be watching for like over the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't know.
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway that I'm hearing and just from sidebar conversations, it's been a lot of talk about 6E and 7, but I think a lot of us are starting to realize that newer isn't always better. 6 is great. It's available. It works. It doesn't rely on AFC.
Can I mute your mic?
You can do anything you want.
Dude, we're a vendor.
I know.
We
We have stuff to sell in 6 too. But it's we are an impatient group, and AFC is taking forever. So you got to use what you got. But I think
that was last month's podcast.
well, I'm
AFC.
bringing it back. They didn't
Oh.
listen yet, maybe. No, I mean, from a Wi-Fi perspective, I would say that. From a community perspective, I mean, the reality is, this is my 5th conference. I've been to a few since 2017. I think there's about 100 and some odd more people now than there was when I started coming. This is the 2nd hotel I've been to. I know there's been, I think, 2 others. So the growth is tremendous. Maybe one day we'll get good hotel Wi-Fi to come along with it, but
We talked about that.
we did talk about it. We're not going to talk about Bruno on the podcast, but no, I mean it's just for me, it's just always a good week. So it's exciting to see. I like seeing the new faces. I like that there's, about a third of the attendees were new again. I'm excited to hear some of the new talks that I missed because we were teaching, but yeah.
I said it last year in my presentation when I was talking about the worst RF, and I don't know if you saw it. If you didn't see it, it's on YouTube. You can go watch it. But I said at one point, I said, here's the thing. Expert is a loaded word. Now we've all ridden the flaming dumpster fire down the flooded street. We've all done that. What's different is, the dumpster fire that I've ridden is different than the dumpster fire that you've ridden, or Curtis, or Brian, or all. Yeah, oh, there you go, Brian. I got 2 Brians, both Brians. Is he still here, or did he leave? Brian Long.
Some of us still have a couple of dumpster fires.
Yeah, we've all ridden these flaming dumpster fires, and so what makes it great is, like, even in my class, it was like we actually. How long did we spend talking about the WLAN pie in the class? I mean, the WLAN pie, if you've never seen it, is indicative of. I mean, it's a 100% WLPC thing.
I think I just figured it out.
What?
Every deep dive, we've talked about other deep dives. That's how we keep them coming back. They hear about one deep dive in the class, and then they're like, I got to come back and do this one. And I mean, is Keith still here? Because I already got in trouble this weekend because like half my boot camp changed to my deep dive. I had nothing to do with it, I swear, other than show them the kit.
Sure.
But it's like
John.
we've got like a little WLPC Ponzi scheme. I think we just
do.
cracked it.
But no, so like.
So if I turn up like missing tomorrow, you know why?
Yeah. So yeah, we spent like 5 minutes talking about the WLAN pie, and I was showing off how I could remote into the Ruckus labs in Sunnyvale from here in my deep dive, and I was like, you use Wi-Fi Explorer Pro to then look to see what the boys in the lab are doing while I'm here. And then I was like, what are you doing on channel 132? And so then I ran a packet capture on channel 132 but it was from a sensor in the labs in Sunnyvale while I was sitting here teaching my antenna deep dive class. I mean, that came about because of this community. That came about because of this conference. And I don't think it exists without that. And how many people here use the WLAN pie? Yeah. There's we will. You will. But as soon as you find about it, but yeah, it's such a thing. So that really is, because whether you use Ruckus, whether you use something else, it's still, we're still in this together, and we only get through this together. So yeah.
I was gonna say nothing to Jason. Thank you though. Don't forget, people, if you want to register to win whatever we're giving away, you gotta. If you haven't scanned it already.
Oh, we don't have that. Oh, it's not on the camera.
Well, they can't. Why would we have it on live? They can't. The people at home can't win anything. You got to be present to win.
Okay. So.
Who wants the hot seat next?
We don't need anybody. We're just trying to.
I'll sit here for a while.
I mean, we included it because we figured maybe you'd want to talk to us. I mean, I'm pretty sure we both showered today. I even used deodorant.
That's questionable. I had a little too much to drink last night.
No.
All right.
Anyways,
So should we talk about Ruckus?
isn't that why we're here?
Why are we here, John?
God sent us? I don't
I
know.
don't know. So.
Yeah, no, we should talk about Ruckus. I mean, that's why we're here after all. It is the corporate podcast. This is our third year coming, third year coming as part of Ruckus, or at least my third year.
So, all right. We're not giving away a car, for anybody who's wondering. We're actually giving away the Ruckus R770. So this is the Wi-Fi 7 AP that Ruckus announced in October of 2023, and we actually had one in Prague. We have one here. Turns out that if you connect a Wi-Fi 7 AP to hotel internet, doing speed tests is not really that much fun. So we didn't bother to set that up because it's like, yeah, connected to a Wi-Fi 7 AP. What does that get me? Not much. So we're going to give away along with a 1-year subscription to Ruckus One. Ruckus One is our cloud controller platform, and it's third iteration. And it's funny, we talked about this on the podcast with Middle.
Sure.
Last year.
Probably.
Anyway.
He hasn't been on yet this year. And if he's listening, he's like, I've got to schedule my first appointment.
Yeah, he's my boss. But anyway, we talked with him about Ruckus One, and what he talks about with it is it's actually an evolution, right? and what they did with Ruckus One is they went back and they said, we need to fix everything about the back end infrastructure of the cloud controller. And so now we can release features much faster. It's all microservices, it's all containerized, it's all the other buzzword things that I don't understand and don't know.
But what's the horsepower?
What do you mean?
Well, that first time you revealed a new AP, you had like a big engine in it.
Well, no, it was only a 250cc motorcycle engine.
Well, so it's got to be bigger, right?
Well, but it's in the cloud.
And the cloud makes everything better, right?
Oh no, I forgot. It's in the cloud.
Oh, there you
so
go.
you don't need horsepower. But they redid it so that now, and this is actually a complaint I got from the SEs. So
Not for me.
anyway, what some other SEs, not John, told me was, hey, can you have them slow down development on stuff? But they're like, we're still trying to learn the stuff that you released last month. Can you tell them to like slow down and let us catch up? And so that's what they did is they rebuilt the whole back end infrastructure that allows us to, bring new things and new products into the platform. And some of that we'll see later this year. So pay attention. I won't actually reveal because I don't think hey, any of the SEs who know this stuff, is there anything we can talk about that I won't get in trouble about or? No? Okay. I can't talk about anything.
Good stuff is coming, trust us.
So there's some other things that we've been working on to sort of round out the idea of a converged network controller to give you that one single glass of pain to figure out what to...
Is that a Freudian slip or was that on purpose? Glass of pain?
Oh yeah, it's a glass of pain, buddy. All right, Eric.
All right.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, let me know when the mic's on.
There you go,
All
figured it
right,
out.
I have 2 questions. Well, first of all, we're talking about new technology. And what kind of testing, Jim, have you done on the 770? Have you done anything in the lab scenario or any personal testing to validate like differences?
No.
Yeah.
He said no.
No.
He said no.
I know, because I took the Wi-Fi 7 class, and it was just interesting to hear every scenario was impracticality. This can work in theory.
So what I could do is I could remove this slide and switch over to the Wi-Fi 7 presentation I'm going to do tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And so since hey, you know what? That's a good idea. I should just do my presentation that I was supposed to do tomorrow morning. I'll just do it now because it's recorded. When it's my time slot, we'll just play the YouTube video and I don't have to wake up in the morning. That's the plan, John.
I don't like that plan. I don't like that plan.
Well, look, I get to sleep in. If I don't have to get up and present, guess what else I get to do tonight?
So you would get to sleep in, and I'm going to lose sleep editing it so that you look good. That's a lot of work.
Jim, the second part, I know you worked at the Denver airport.
Yes.
You managed the Denver airport. What is the fastest airport now, according to Ookla?
I feel like this is a loaded question.
It is a
I know
loaded
this question answer. This came up on Saturday.
So, all right, full disclosure.
And Bart may be listening, so he knows this answer
So,
too.
I had to ask because
So-
we worked
well, no,
there,
so-
that's
so-
one of their deployments.
so first, full disclosure, Eric works for a company called SmartWave, and last year,
Not just a company, one of our partners.
it's a partner, and last year we had your CEO on the podcast, and I might happen to have brought up the fact that
Oh, that's right.
on the podcast.
You did
I
go
called
at
him
each
out on
other.
that.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
So yes, Ookla just recently ranked the San Jose airport in San Jose, California as the fastest airport Wi-Fi in the United States, which is a brand new or past year. I mean,
about
it's
a year or so.
So yeah, it's a full brand new Ruckus deployment and it's now the fastest. What I will not say recorded and on a microphone and on camera is that I could make it go faster if you'd let me get in and touch it. But
By all means,
I have some things I'd like to.
We'll take a ticket.
You're
So,
welcome anytime. We'll welcome that.
so what Jim is saying is he just needs to touch it and it'll work better.
Well,
look-
I think that's a good, and it's not just a plug. I mean, Ruckus, their products, we've proven it over and over again in dense deployments. Airport, convention center settings, they perform phenomenal in high density.
Is Al? How you doing, Al?
Yeah,
Hi,
I'm
Al.
okay.
Say everybody wave to Al because he has to be listening now. That's the only reason.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true. I mean, we've dealt with Cisco before, and there is a big difference.
I have to
from what we've
pay
seen.
him.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, that's my.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, but you know, it's a good point, right? Because I saw this. Gosh, it was. I think it was either on Twitter. It was either Twitter or Slack, and somebody was talking about like, oh, look how bad Channelfly is. And we did a podcast episode about this last year at WLPC. That we had this conversation. So it was like, oh, Channelfly's bad. Channelfly's bad. And it was funny because we went to dinner with a group of people from WLPC, and we were sitting around, and that's what we said. We said, hey, did you see that tweet about Channelfly? And there was 3 or 4 different vendors sitting at the table with us, different vendors, and to a person, every single one of them said it's not Channelfly's fault. It's not. Now, if you could take the best product in the world and if you configure it incorrectly, then it's not going to perform well. So that's part of what the value that John and I see in a community like this is and that's why we push hard to get the Ruckus partners here and get you guys here, is because you can take anything and configure it wrong, and it'll work badly. You can take stuff that maybe isn't great, and if you get everything else and you configure around it, you can make it do really good stuff. And so that's what it's about. It's the education. It's the learning. It's about like we were talking about in my class. We were talking about setting the minimum basic rate. And I tell people all the time, like, I'd set the minimum basic rate at 54 megabits per second, except everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. And then I look at them and I go, well, do you really want a client on your network that's, at 6? Why set the minimum basic rate at 6 if you would never allow that client to even onto the network if it was 6? Why are you going to set the minimum basic rate at 6? I see Will, am I good? Am I tracking?
Do you want to come and throw you a couple of softballs, Jim?
Yeah. So, but Will Jones does lots of crazy, weird. You think I do crazy stuff? Will does some crazy stuff.
No. Like, no.
We first met like 8 years ago, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
And, we talked a lot about RF. It's really interesting. So yeah, you brought up a thing there about like Channelfly being bad and everything else. So Channelfly is an algorithm. The algorithm works great. The configuration is awful. Why in 2024 are we still sat here with awful settings coming out of the vendors' products by default? Be brave, go first. Turn off 11B data rates by default. Stop doing this widest channel by default. It hurts everybody.
It does.
I make a good living out of fixing broken networks, so I'm doing myself out of a job here. But most of all I do is I go in and just change very simple things.
If it was really simple, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and it's something that I've been working on. It's a slow process, but it all has to go back to the fact that, why is 802.11b even a thing anymore? Why can we just, and WEP,
Yeah.
why is WEP still a thing? How come we haven't killed that yet? It's the backwards compatibility. And so to your point, I think what we're going to see happen, oh no, that mic.
That's not coming through.
I'd have to throw this mic over to there. I know. Well, it's not coming through the live stream?
They can't hear questions.
Who?
People can't hear
Who can't?
is asking questions
Who can't? These people?
on the live stream.
Oh,
Oh.
we'll have to repeat the questions. I don't know what's going on with that.
So Will was asking about why do we have vendor defaults that are less than optimal if we know that they're less than optimal? And I don't have a good answer for you. Jason.
So marketing are advocating that we enable a 20-year-old protocol by default in the form of 11B. I'm good with this, it's great for me.
I want to say some things, but I'm not allowed to, because there have been some discussions around this topic, and I've been advocating for things that I'm trying. Look, I am trying to get as close to this line as I can without getting fired, because if Al's watching, Al's talking to Bart, and so Bart's not watching, and and then Bart's gonna talk to my boss, and then I'm just like, oh crap.
And you'll see them both
We can
in
change.
mobile
What's your
economies.
favorite antenna pattern?
My favorite antenna pattern? My favorite antenna is, it's actually the Exceltex Everyman antenna.
Why is that?
Okay. Why is the Exceltex Everyman antenna my favorite antenna pattern? What, you don't know, John?
I haven't heard of this one before.
So this is why I like that antenna and why I like that pattern. Is we talk about, and so this is, now I'm going to go into my antenna deep dive. So if anybody wants to take my antenna deep dive, you're now going to get a little snippet of that. How we talk about beam widths of antennas in degrees, and we measure it. You know, we go, that's a 60 degree, that's an 80 degree, that's a 90 degree, whatever the degrees are, but it's measured at 3 dB down, right? And so we say from top dead center, we go left until we get to 3 dB below the maximum signal, or the maximum gain, and we mark it, and we go, bam, that's where we have. Then we go to the other side, we go to till 3 dB down, and then we, you know, bam, we mark it on that side, then we measure what's the difference between those two, and it gives us a degree, 60 degrees. However, does RF stop at 3 dB down? It keeps going. So if you design a network to say a neg 65, you know, neg 67 is still a good signal. Neg 68 is still a pretty decent signal. So what I care about and what I like about this antenna is when you look at how fast it goes from 3 dB down to 10 dB down. And I call that the antenna roll-off. So what you want to look at, because what you're trying to pinch that signal in, because we want to get the RF where we want the RF, but we want to also keep it from where we don't want it. But if you look at something that's, you know, 8 dB down, you know, from the max center, you know, which could be a 9 dBi gain, what you end up with is you're still a 1 dB gain. It is not, didn't it? You still end up with a 1 dB gain, but it can be at 180 degrees. But if you look at that antenna, as soon as it hits that 3 dB down, it immediately starts pulling down to 10 dB down and even further, which means I have a very defined cell edge for that antenna, and it's a rectangle. The antenna and the pattern is a rectangle, which means, and how many rooms are rectangles? So if you want to cover a rectangle room, why not use a rectangle pattern? So.
At least he didn't ask you what your favorite AP was.
My favorite AP is the R650, and I will tell you that Sunday, was I here?
Sunday.
It was Sunday night. Devin Aiken agreed with me that the R650 is his favorite AP. So, Devin agrees with me, not you. Thanks, Will.
That's an endorsement. I'll leave you alone now.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Will.
So, but there are some things that we've been working, and I've been talking with the developers about trying to fix some of the defaults, trying to fix some of these other things, and unfortunately, especially for customers and partners, it might be a screaming match as we drag you into the future of 2020 or 2015 or 2010 or the stuff that, so as we drag you from 2000 to 2010, you might see some pain, you might be like, why are we doing that? And it's like, well, you know, at some point we do need to rip the Band-Aid. So, you got anything, John?
No. What do you want to do next?
I don't know. We got,
Time to give away some stuff.
I think it is time to give away some stuff, so now there's a problem. We have a problem, John.
What's the problem?
So the problem, well, yeah, we're gonna give away the car. The problem is we don't have a car.
Yeah.
So, I know.
I'm not giving away my rental. I have to give it back tomorrow.
That's usually the way rentals work.
Usually.
Okay, so here's my problem is the fancy dancy prize winning machine
Yes.
is on the laptop that's over there.
Okay.
And I'm here.
Okay.
So,
I kind of did this last night. They go, this is a random, and somebody right next to them won it. They're like, here you go.
They did prove it was random.
Yeah.
But I can do play-by-play. You can take that. I'll
okay, so I'm gonna go, so John's gonna riff and do his thing and keep you guys entertained, and I will go.
Well, they're going to listen to you. You're on the speaker.
Wait, you wanna listen to me?
They do.
Who wants
I don't know. What are you asking me for?
Yeah, so much planning went into this, right? So, all right, we'll give some stuff away. Has anybody wanted to register and hasn't registered yet?
I didn't register yet.
You did.
Am I eligible?
You brought it. Something tells me you have more than one, but.
Maybe. I can
So-
either confirm or deny.
All right, I have to do some fancy math here. So I'm gonna hide this.
Oh
for a
man, was that you
second.
creaking?
I'm sorry?
Was that you creaking?
Yeah, I am old, I creep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
All right, let's see who wins what. There you go. Jim's working his magic. He's typing out a name on the list.
Oh, wait, which laptop do I have?
That would be the one in front of you.
Look, when I said I wanna go back to, like, being a first timer who gets to sit down here and just get to go from session to session and all that stuff, there's a reason why, because it's a lot of work. Until you really get into it, you don't know. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Is it the right laptop? It actually worked?
It might have worked.
It's a minor miracle.
It worked. Okay.
So how many, what are our odds here? What do we got? How many people registered? And are we,
So I got 46 people who registered.
and we're done, right? We're not doing a last call, right?
I did.
Okay, so we did last call.
We did last call.
For the registration, not the beer yet. Don't worry. Nobody panic.
Now I have to copy and paste.
This is high-tech stuff, you're right, Nick. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't pull the rolling bingo ball hopper out.
Okay.
There we go.
Hold on, I forgot I have to adjust the fancy prize winner machine algorithms.
That is a trademark name.
Let's see, we wanna go to. You know, there's probably like some strict way you could do this.
Probably.
I don't know it.
All right. So Mr. Palmer is working on the prize for 2 or 10. Who wins the car? That's what we want to know. And by car, we mean AP.
Oh, this is not doing this to me, is it? No.
And-
Alright, this is gonna be, my fancy prize winner machine broke.
Uh-oh. That means Jim wins all the prizes. That's what
No,
that means,
it
right?
means it means that it's a good thing we started this early.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So-
worst case, we're just going to have to let them fight for it.
Let it come up. So, this is my fancy prize winner machine, right here.
AKA Excel spreadsheet.
It's an Excel spreadsheet with an algorithm punched in. And so I have everybody listed, and what broke was, my concave, yeah, that thingy that you put in the E column didn't transfer over, so I don't get the full name. And that's where, so everybody's got you got an entry number. You got an entry number next to your name, and unfortunately 34 will not win. So Jason Bashara, thanks for coming. You're not winning. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to attempt to.
Wow, that is some really fancy math. That's almost as bad as RF math, Jim.
It's not
You know,
working.
everybody wants live demos, and this is a live demo.
So if we burn.
We never said it was going to be pretty.
So whoever 38 is, the prize winner is 38. 38 wins it.
How do you know their age?
14 wins an R350. And 30, wow, 38. How did that happen? Oh, wait. 9. So, 38. Who won it? Mark House won an R770. Is he here though?
My name is Mark.
So wait, we had somebody register, but they're not here to win the.
What?
Oh, you got it wrong. Come on.
Oh, Mariano Marengo.
My name is Mario.
Mariano's right there, Jim. Jim. Mariano's right there. He's waving his hands. I think. I don't know. Jim. There we go.
My brother. Oh, I don't know who you. All right. Okay, so you got an R770.
Wow. He's not here, man.
Well, just hang out.
Yeah.
Because we also need to flow. We got to figure out the lot. Just hang out, man. Look, we've been together for 2 days now. You should know this. Just hang out. So it was 14.
I don't know. Right now we're seeing your elbow.
Yeah, Bob Salemi. Is Bob here? Please tell me Bob's here, because I don't want to redo this. Bob is not here, so how about 9? Jimmy Lindahl. Jimmy.
He's here.
All right, we need one more.
Oh my God.
So 12. What? You're 12. You look a little older than 12.
You walked right into that one, Jeff.
It's been a long week.
Well, it's nice to see 2 of our RCWA participants getting some love.
Jeff King.
Woohoo!
All right. So.
Going to a nice partner.
What?
He's a partner. He was in my boot camp.
I know.
I like to see it.
I'll teach it. Yeah. keep on.
I wasn't sure. Maybe you forgot.
Okay. So that's what we also. If you didn't win anything, we do have some more puppies.
There's always puppies.
There's
always
puppies. There's some
shirts.
bags,
There's a
some
bag.
other stuff, so come see us.
Do you want to do one more? I know that was really
more
really good.
what?
Do you want to do one more to get the bag? We have a backpack. There's a backpack in one of those boxes.
There is?
Yeah, I told you about this. I don't know if it's a backpack. It's a bag of some type.
So there is a
Or there's a FedEx box that says bag.
There's a fat. So the next winner was 35. 35
Is your elbow.
is still my elbow. So 35 is Navashali. You get a FedEx box that says backpack on it.
Hooray!
There's a 50-50 chance that there is something in there. And there's
It's
25% chance it might be what says it on the outside.
so you're saying it's Schrodinger's prize.
It's Schrodinger's prize.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah, there you go. So, with that, what?
It might have one of your missing R77.
No, they're not missing. Those are good.
No, John sleeps with them under his pillow. So,
No, that'd be weird.
so with
Like
that,
even
everybody,
for me, that'd be weird.
thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming. We're going to be here. If you're on the live stream, sorry, but we're going to have to cut you off because we are all going to leave here and we're going to go down to where we had breakfast and we're going to have a 10th anniversary party, which we will be at. So come find us at our table. If you have any other questions, you want to berate me, you want to ask any questions I can't answer, whatever. Oh, come find me because I got a bunch of stickers I don't want to take home. So thank you guys for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I don't get fired. So if I'm not presenting in the morning, you know why. So thanks everybody. Thanks for the live stream.
See you guys later.
Thank you everybody. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
come on up. We got some bins. Please try to stay on this side of the bins because we got a bunch of cables that we got to, take down and stuff. So, yeah, we got some puppies. We got stickers. We actually have some shirts. If you want a Ruckus shirt, we have a Ruckus
Watch
shirt.
the